Hey guys, what's up? It is your friendly neighborhood Ubigus here, back again with another Binding of Isaac Afterbirth video. And this time we're going to be doing the daily challenge, of course. And apparently it's Azazel. Interesting. This will be fun, maybe. Probably not, because Azazel, at the moment, is still broken. In that he does like half the damage he's supposed to or something obscene. So that's not going to be very fun. So let's go. They did want to nerf Azazel, by the way, in case you're wondering why Azazel is so bad. Their goal was actually just to make the charge time longer, which you can clearly see. But they also happened to take away damage, which was not intended. So as you'll see, this is butts, like real butts. Also, apparently, troll bombs get affected by the Mega Man bombs, which makes no sense. What the oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Why you gotta do me like that? Alright, well this sucks. Yeah, fuck the floor. Whatever. Let's go. So I'm gonna try and go fast. It's not gonna go well. I'll warn you of that. There's almost certainly no way that this goes well. God, this charge time is like very obnoxious. Honestly, if they returned Azazel's damage, then it wouldn't be bad at all. The problem is, missing damage and having the nerf charge time makes Azazel really just bad. Just really, really bad. Balls of Steel is actually good, though. That is good news. That's pretty good, too. Tech is pretty good. I believe it is just explicitly a damage up in this instance. I'm actually still not certain whether or not it actually changes anything at all. I know visually I get the laser that goes around my brimstone, which you can only kind of see. And the only reason you can kind of see it is because, of course, my brimstone shot is very, very low range. As Azazel. But I have to imagine, because of, just based on the visual alone, I have to imagine that it does give a damage up. Because I'm just hitting with more shit, you know? At the very least, it's cool. So whether or not it's functional, I'm not entirely certain. Whether or not it's cool, absolutely. Oh, damn it, the range. So it was really cool. I was watching the BlizzCon stuff today. Actually today. I don't have a virtual ticket because that costs money. But they always do opening ceremonies and major announcements for BlizzCon. Just free to watch, basically. And so I was watching that. And it was rad. It was sick. I enjoyed it. I was a bit hesitant for a few things, specifically, the main one I'm thinking of is the fact that they announced World of Warcraft, the expansion Legion, they announced that it was coming summer next year, which, considering they said Overwatch is spring, and that means released on/by June 21st, I'm gonna assume summer means released /by/on like fucking, I don't know, October. Which is really terrifying to me that they're potentially gonna just leave it so WoW gets no content until, you know, Q3 next year. That seems really dangerous. Definitely dangerous is the word. But you know what? They gotta do what they gotta do, I suppose. And what they gotta do, apparently, is make people upset or something. Doesn't matter. Whatever. I'm more excited for Overwatch at this point than Legion. Although the cinematic they showed us, getting us ready for Legion, is so good looking. So, you know what? I can live with it. It gave me chills. It literally, like, that's a thing that WoW does. That World of Warcraft sort of, you know, Warcraft-related things, you know, story-related, new, unseen stuff does to me, is it gives me wicked chills and goosebumps and shit. It's crazy. But I am a goose. I have goosebumps. And this cutscene was no different at all. It had Varian and Sylvanas, and like essentially like the beaches of Normandy moment that's gonna happen in Legion, and holy shit, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy what that shit does to me. Like, I know, you know, that I shouldn't get that excited for it, because Warlords of Draenor had similar, whatever. And that turned out to be, in most people's opinions, a pretty bad expansion. And again, I think it was alright, but I came in late to the game, so I'm not entirely sure. You know, maybe I'm missing something, but definitely hasn't had the most content of any expansion. But at the same time, people are definitely over-exaggerating how much, or how little content Warlords of Draenor has. And the reason that I say that is because, come on, dude, Curse the Maze. The reason I say that is because, like, it's like these people weren't around for the other, you know, every expansion before it. Because if you have been, you should know that content drought at the end of an expansion always happens. It's never not happened.
Pretty fly.
Why does he only say pretty fly? Alright. Yeah, content drought always happens at the end of expansions. It's been happening since the dawn of man. So, I think people are definitely over-exaggerating for Warlords of Draenor. But at the same time, I do think waiting until, you know, fall, presumably, is what we're looking at. The leaked time window was September, which seems to line up fairly well with the announcements so far. Excuse me. I have weird burps. It's probably like indigestion. I have a history of mild indigestion. And by history of it, I mean, yeah, it happens occasionally. Shit. I don't like this. This room terrifies me. Let's blow it up. Allows us to get into our shop without spending keys. Drop something. That was pretty good. God damn it. Shit. This Curse of the Maze is so brutal now. I don't know what changed. It just happens constantly now. At least compared to how much it used to happen. It's crazy how much it happens now. Just insane. You don't have a spacebar, why take 9-fold? Because I will get one! Believe it! Alright, Naruto, chill the fuck out, bro. Believe it! Apparently, by the way, that's a poor translation of, essentially, like, it's just a thing that doesn't really translate. Because Naruto's not, like, saying, believe it! It's more of, like, a... I don't know. That is probably the closest translation, but apparently it doesn't actually get, like, the point across of what he actually says. Not like it matters, it's Naruto's shit anime. That's also not entirely true. I kind of like Naruto. I haven't watched it in many a year, so I'm not really an authority on the subject, but fuck off, Mega Fatty, with your goddamn shit. Yeah, I'm not really an authority on the subject at all. Oh my god, what do I pick? I guess Abaddon. Dark Bum Abaddon. Obviously I'm grabbing Dark Bum before whatever. You know what, I can also take this. Fuck it, why was I thinking so hard about that? I can just take it all. I forgot that they updated it. So now they dynamically change with the kind of health you have. So if you don't have any red health, then it dynamically changes to be Spirit Heart related, which is awesome. Well, our damage and tiers are pretty much back to where Azazel begins, so this feels good. That's a joke, by the way. Obviously, we're far surpassing old Azazel's damage and tier rate, but who can miss out on a joke like that? Not me. No siree. So, I was watching, by the way. I was watching Inglourious Basterds last night. I haven't seen that movie pretty much since it came out, so I decided to rewatch it. 6 years later, I believe it was 09. Pretty sure it was. Okay, credit card, not bad. Alright, Mr. Mega, why not? Alright, well, I guess I'm... Alright, well, I guess I'm... yeah, so I rewatched Inglourious Basterds after about 6 fucking goddamn years, right? And I gotta say, damn good movie. Like, damn good, man. Damn! The best thing about Inglourious Basterds is the dialogue. And that's the thing about the movie. I think a lot of people probably went in not realizing what the movie was actually about. This is my opinion, actually, including from like long ago when I did initially see it. And that is basically the movie more or less is marketed as, well, it's not even like the way it's marketed. I guess it's the way it's perceived based on the marketing. It's not really, it wasn't really marketed as like a World War II movie or a movie just about killing Nazis or something like that. But that is the way a lot of people saw it. A lot of people saw the marketing and just assumed, right? But it is basically, it's a movie that is almost explicitly about dialogue. That's it, right? Like, it's a dialogue movie. Yeah, there's non-dialogue mixed in. That's fine and dandy, and I love it, but it is, at the end of the day, dialogue movie. And holy shit, Tarantino is a master of dialogue. It's insane, because, like, so the thing that's so crazy to me about Inglourious Basterds, that makes it a lot more of a dialogue film than maybe you would think, is that the movie focuses, and Tarantino actually has talked about this in interviews, but it focuses on the language aspect of World War II, which is not a thing people ever focus on in movies, right? You're watching a World War II movie, dramatic movie, and then the main actor is like pretending to infiltrate the German ranks, and just so happens that every single German speaks English and doesn't think it's weird that this guy is speaking English, right? Like, that's a normal thing. Well, maybe not normal, but it's a thing that's happened, right? And that's not how it worked. I mean, it's just so far from the truth, and Tarantino wanted to like try and actually capture what it was like. You know, if you're in this area, if you're in like a German-controlled area during World War II, and you don't speak German, right, chances are you're gonna get shot and killed, you know? It's crazy. It's crazy. And people just brush over that in pretty much every World War II movie known to man. They just ignore the fact that it's like, oh, well, I guess everybody should be speaking German, otherwise they'll get shot to death. You know? And then even the Germans are speaking English and shit. Like, yeah, it just makes no sense. But in this movie, everybody speaks a language, you know? Like, there's people who speak French in the movie, there's people who speak German in the movie. There's one person who happens to speak a number of languages in the movie, played by Christoph Waltz, and probably is the best character in the movie. And like, it's really, really cool because it actually, the language aspect actually has, it actively plays into the plot of the movie, which is not a thing you really expect most of the time. You don't really expect the whole speaking different languages to play into a movie. You don't think it really would affect plot most of the time. But in this movie, there's a part where, yes, and sure, and yep, and bloop. But there's a part in the movie where they have the German-speaking bastards, right, meeting in this German place, basically posing as Nazis. And it's apparently a thing that they do often. And so that plays into it. And then there's actually a part where, and spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, it's 6 years old, so you should probably have seen it by now. But if you haven't, that's cool. You should probably take care of that, though. But yeah, basically, it's the part in the pub, and they, sure, whatever. It's the part in the pub, and it's really cool because they speak German, and the question of accent gets raised because it's like, hey, what accent is that? And then he has this alibi, and it seems like he's getting away with it, and everything is fine and dandy and interesting, right? Interesting progression of the plot there, and then it reaches the point where they want 3, I think it was whiskey. They want 3 whiskeys, and the German word for 3 is it's not zwei, that's 2. I don't know what it's probably like try or something dumb that doesn't even sound right. But yeah, so he's asking for 3 whiskeys, and it's great because in that moment he raises his hand to say like I need 3 whiskeys, and was counting with his fingers, right? And he did it with the, like, I guess American way, where you go 3 would be the 3 fingers, basically 3 fingers not including thumb. The thumb holds down the other fingers, right? Finger, sorry, let me articulate, not fingers. And like that's the way he did it, right? And then the actual Nazi officer was like, it's like, oh, I got you now, like that's not correct. What are you doing, or something? And then he points his gun at the guy's balls, and it's this great sequence. It's really good. Halo's the best, but Tech 2 sounds fun. Also, Halo ruins my horror of Babylon. But yeah, like that actually plays into it. The way that he literally displays 3 on his fingers is relevant to the plot, right? And that's awesome. I love that. That's the sort of thing that more movies need. Specifically if they're like based on true events. And obviously, nobody's gonna try and argue that Inglourious Basterds is the true ending to the to the World War II, basically. It's not the way Hitler died. Duh. He didn't get fucking lit on fire and shot hundreds of times while in a movie theater at the premiere of a fucking new movie. Yeah, of course that didn't happen. Come on. I mean, he killed himself, took his own life out. But it is fairly grounded aside from that part. Aside from that sequence, the movie is very, very historically accurate. Not in the events, but like in the actual things, the actions, Ugh, this is a nightmare. Also, I like that the entire movie is like 6 scenes. That's what I really like about it. Too many movies are just like scene after scene after scene after scene after scene. They don't let the scene sit. But Bastards is, I mean, it's 5 chapters, right? And each chapter is more or less 1 scene with a couple differences. There's a couple bonus scenes, kind of. But I mean, it basically is a 5-scene movie, which is awesome. That's the thing that I think is really missing, you know? Maybe not missing. Maybe missing's the wrong word. But it's a thing that I think is not focused on enough. Because it is a very, very, very difficult thing, you know, to make a movie that can be focused so hard to only include 5 scenes, and still be entertaining. And the best thing is it's a 2.5 hour long movie. Well, 2.5 hours with credits. And the fact that at no point was I like, you know, get on with it. At least at no point I was like, get on with it, that I wasn't intended to feel that way, right? There was no point where I just felt like the movie was dragging on in a bad way. There were parts where it was like, can we please move past this? There were definitely parts like that, lots of them. But those were intentional, as far as I could tell. And of course I'm referring to pretty much the opening sequence, which is 20 minutes of Christoph Waltz talking, Christoph Waltz's character, sorry, talking with a French farmer in his home, basically asking about if he's hiding Jews. It's a 20-minute scene of them having an incredibly stressful conversation, and then about halfway through the scene, they cut to below the floorboards, and you notice, oh, he is, he is hiding Jews. Okay, I understand now. And now the tension from that point on just goes bananas. I hate Cage. The tension just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and the worst part about it, and by worst I mean best, is that the tension never goes away. You're stuck with it. The second that you see that scene, you're stuck with the tension. It doesn't go away. There's no cathartic finish. There's no, you know, conclusion to the tension. There's no taking the foot off the gas, I guess. And that was clearly intentional, and I love it. Because it really sets the tone for the entire movie. I hate you. Stupid goddamn angel motherfucker. And the other great thing about Inglourious Basterds is that, you know, Christoph Waltz. I've name dropped him a few times. I haven't even touched on the fact that Brad Pitt's in the movie. And obviously Brad Pitt's incredible, but oh my Christ. But really though, like Christoph Waltz, he steals the show. He picks it up and he just takes it away. He just yanks it. And if you're not aware of other things Christoph Waltz has done, well, basically no, and 2, Django. This is new. Blind Rage. Blind to damage. Weird. Basically, Christoph Waltz, his breakout performance was Inglourious Basterds, at least in American cinema. And then he did Inglourious Basterds, and I'm sure he's done other stuff. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. He's probably done other stuff, almost certainly. I just don't know of it. Because I'm too much of a Tarantino fanboy to give a shit about anything else. But that doesn't make him not incredible in both Django and Inglourious Basterds. Because he is. Alright, cool. But apparently, Inglourious Basterds wouldn't have happened if Tarantino didn't find basically Christoph Waltz. Which, I mean, you know, obviously you can think of it in a certain way and be like, well, no shit, obviously it wouldn't happen without Christoph Waltz. But, like, basically, he didn't want to do the movie unless he could find the correct actor for that character. And then he found Christoph Waltz. And that's the other thing, because Tarantino focused so hard on making sure he had actors of the language, you know, so he wanted German actors for the German characters. So, you know, he didn't want any Americans playing Germans, basically. So that's why, that's basically how he came to Christoph Waltz, because he was a German actor and he just showed up and then, you know, did it. All right, well, that was a cool daily. You know what? I'm not upset about the ranking at all. This is like 12 hours after the thing. Well, let's actually double check. I can find that out. Well, let's look at my friends and see how hard I slammed them. Nobody's done it yet. I'm the best. Right, so it's almost been 12 hours, so getting in the thousands does not really surprise me. Let's see how many cheaters there are today. Yeah, there's a few. Quite a few. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Oh well, that was cool. Cool run. Cool video. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that good shit. And I'll see you guys back again tomorrow with more Afterbirth unlocking, maybe challenges. Yeah, I mean, it's basically the last thing I gotta do. So I guess I'll be doing the challenges tomorrow. At least some of them. Well, hopefully they're not as bullshit as the speed challenge. If they are, imagine, you know, I'm just gonna warn you right now, I'll be upset, so I'll be mad. It'll get me mad. It'll get me fuming. Smoke will start shooting out of my ears. I'll probably turn blind with rage. I'll snap my keyboard in half. Just with my mind. And then I'll probably punch a hole in a fucking concrete wall and run around the street naked, light myself on fire, you know? Just normal things, you know? Nothing out of the ordinary. Just kind of normal shit. I don't know why I'm, you know, prefacing all this. Especially at the end of a video. It makes no sense. Thanks for watching. Bye.